Right, who the show? We are here today on Forza Motorsport with some more multiplayer racing. For this session, the rules were pretty straightforward. We were using A-class cars, but they had to be mid-engined. It doesn't give you a huge selection of options because, well, race tyres were going to be very important, and not every car would be able to get race tyres in A-class. I went a slightly different route than I would normally go, opting for a Ford GT, which didn't give me very much PI to play with whatsoever. I had to actually put a whole load of ballast in the car to actually keep it in A-class and get a race gearbox and get race tyres and all of that sort of thing. But it was something different, and I was hoping it was going to be something relatively fast, despite being one of the heavier cars here. Well, we are a long way back, and I am with my fellow Ford. I believe it is Impega who is in the other Ford GT. We got a lot of work to be doing from back here, and I mean, these are just heavy cars. To get them to work in this is not going to be easy. Oh, Brazen has turned up with the MR2. Now, Mugello is going to be a tough one, I think. I don't know. Maybe it'll work for Ford. That's not going to help, is it? Now, that has... well, amazingly, it hasn't really... It could have been a lot worse outcome from that one. The BMW got a little bit unhappy. With that, that would be worse there, for an example. Some trips into the gravel trip, not ideal. Oh, Impega's put a rear wheel on the dirt and got very sideways through there. Recovered it quite nicely. I'm going to try and punch off that corner and clear the Clio. Don't really want to be going side by side on the run down here, if can help it, because, you know, this is just a dicey place to try and overtake at the best of times. There's another one. Oh, there's another two have made their way into the gravel trap through there. It looked like they were separate of each other, that one. This is getting very crowded through this section. Honestly, Longbow's in a really bad place. The little tiny Ferrari, I don't know what way it's going. What way is it? I'm just going to have to lift. I couldn't really utilise my momentum on that one because Longbow was just... That is one of the downsides of the very small, very light cars. God, Lombow's vehicle looks really dangerous. It's about to get mugged by possibly two of the heaviest cars in the field here. The Fords, I don't know how Impega has built theirs, but presuming it will be, well, it'll have to be on race tyres. You're going to be competitive in this field. You won't have a huge amount of options in terms of how you go about building it. Lombow's car looks dicey. Of course, you can't get any rear aero on cars like that. But it will be exceedingly light, so its acceleration will be nuts when Longbow can get it fired in a straight line. I'm hoping I might have more top speed. I didn't have a very good final corner, unfortunately, in that one. It's very busy further up. One of the problems I have with this car, it doesn't rev as high as I want it to, and yeah, I don't really hear the engine note very well. My hearing in general is pretty shocking. I don't know what it is about this car that... I am struggling with. Lombow's vehicle is very dicey under brake. I feel like Lombow's car is very fast but very sketchy, which is often the way it goes with the really old machines. I've experienced those myself. Sometimes they work exceedingly well. Sometimes they're a handful. This does look like a really big group of cars. There is Countach making a move on a Ferrari. Impega's trying to buy into that one. I mean, we're all now trying to buy in on that one. Oh, I had to again have a little bit of a lift. We're going to kind of get Longbow to go almost defensive down here, but the Ferrari is able to carry enough speed. Don't really want to be stuck here any longer than we have to be, but it's very difficult to pass, you know, through this section. There's not really many easy overtaking opportunities. To the inside here is doable, but we'd have to be a lot further alongside, and Lombow's got such acceleration and good brakes in that thing that is able to do this. What I'm kind of hoping here is Longbow is going to compromise the Ferrari. Did not. Ferrari is looking to fight back. There might still be a door left ajar, and there was. Ferrari tried to fight that one, and maybe a little too hard, and we were able to profit. And I mean, that's sometimes what you've got to do. So sometimes what you've just got to do is, whenever there is the slither of an opportunity, you make the most of it, and yeah, find a way through. Lombow's car is sliding again. Impega's looking to the outside of a Countach. I mean, considering all four, let's say three of us, sorry, Brazen's done a better job with the MR2. That thing's shot off down the field. But Yeah, I mean, Hordes, Impega, me, we all started further back. I had an absolutely awful start in this one, so like it could have gone worse for me. I'm not sure this track is really for my car. I don't know. I don't know what track I want with the Ford. It feels like it's got good corner speed, but it's because it's so heavy, it's really struggling to accelerate, basically. That's where we lose out big time, I feel, anyway. It's under acceleration. Actual mid-corner speed is pretty good, but the acceleration is a real problem. Porsche tried to buy in back past Impega and is going to lose 3 places in that. Oh, and Impega put a wheel on the dirt. Porsche is going to fight this one, try and get back past me. I'm on the curb, Leopard. I had to have a little bit of a lift there. Oh, I wanted to pick up the throttle. Yeah, the problem is I'm just being held by lightweight acceleration cars at the moment. And Impega is finding a very similar thing. On its own, I think this could be very far, or it could be faster around here, certainly. But in these groups, it is struggling a little bit. It's struggling to get clear in different ways. It's just the top speed is good. The acceleration is the bit that's just lacking. I got that corner there all wrong, which doesn't help matters. This is a really big gaggle of cars. And Impega is now coming under increased threat. I think Brazen has just got to the front of it. The leaders have kind of got a little bit of clean air because we're all fighting one another back here. I don't quite know where we're going to find a ways past these cars ahead. A lot of what we're looking for is, say, mistakes, if any little errors creep in that we can profit from. That is good. Like this, Leopard is going to have a big lift, and we are going to say thank you very much for that one and scoot our way past. Try not to run wide in the final corner if at all possible. Don't pick up the throttle too soon. I'm slightly worried we'll understeer wide. There we go. Now, the Porsche will out-accelerate me. I'm hoping this straight is long enough for the Porsche to run out of acceleration. Yes, it has. Okay, that's good. There's a BMW up ahead here that seems to be also running out of top speed. Longbow's having a look to the inside. We are also wanting to buy into this one here if at all possible. Come on, Ferrari. There was a gap, and just the instant there was a gap, we can't afford to let that one slide, really. God, we have been struggling with the track. It's been a very hectic race in this mid-pack, that is for sure. Now, don't get it wrong through this section again. We do not. They're actually quite quick on the exit here. Leopard's made a move as well on that poor BMW. Was in the top 10 at the start of this lap, and it's all gone a little bit skew-whiff. Oh, there's chaos up ahead. The Amira has gone wide, although not sure how much of that was checking up for the other stuff around them, to be honest. Now, again, I want to get on the throttle sooner, but can't quite get myself in a place to find a way to overtake the Ferrari. Because even here, even if I try, I just don't think I've got the brakes to do it against such a light car. We really need Longbow to have a big slide at a moment where we can capitalise on it, basically. Although, I mean, Longbow's about to run into traffic, as all of us are, really. Is an MR2 at the front of this group? I think the MR2 may be the cork in the bottle at the moment. That is, I'm going to guess the MR2 must have... Oh, I've got that corner there all completely wrong. I'm going to have a little lift so we don't go past Longbow on that one. Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to end up doing that one, but it's either that or crash, and at that point, I'm going to take that one, really. Oh, God, the understeer in that final... If I had just a little bit more front grip in this, it'd be a monster. But I do struggle with the understeer there. Longbow got off that final corner really, really well. Liam's struggling for straight line speed in the Countach. That was another scruffy lap, that one. Very scruffy lap. There's a lot more pace in this car than I have extracted from it so far. We are quite good under brakes into turn 1, I have to say. We have been consistently strong down there. Considering how heavy the car is, that is not bad going, really. As we round the next couple of corners, it's been all manners of scruffy for the field ahead. We've been trying to give Liam a hurry up through there. The Countach is, I mean, it's defending, well through here. I want to try and get off this corner nicely. Longbow's trying to get off this corner well to defend against Liam. Impega's having a look to the inside of the Amira. The MR2 is continuing to hold on. I mean, this group is just kind of stuck. We may be able... Can we do something here about the Countach? No, because even if... Oh, we might actually... Like I say, even if we do, Lombo's in the way. Lombo might have actually helped us in that one, because there was just a little lift that Liam had to do, because the Ferrari was in the way, and we were able to sneak our way past the Lamborghini. I mean, if we can get close to the Amira for the run to the finish line, Lombo's still wiggling all over the road with that car. That Ferrari has been quite the pain for me in this, honestly, because I've been really struggling to pass it because of his acceleration, but it has been just... It's been an absolute handful to drive, and fair play to Lombo, who has done one hell of a job with what is clearly a very, very tough car to drive. We might be able to make something happen here, but it's a really long way round, and that's going to be not going to work for me. We know Lombo's too fast off of this corner. Wyvern's going to win. We've had a fantastic battle over the last remnants of the top 10. Couldn't shut the door on Lombo in that final corner. Lombo will take 10th. We'll have to settle for 11th. From a iffy start, that was pretty good going. We couldn't quite go with Brazen and Hordes. They had a bit too much speed. We definitely had more pace. I think we could have been in the 59s lap time wise. We should have been. We were battling an awful lot in that. Just could not get past the... couldn't get past Lombo's Ferrari for the majority of that one. Yeah, okay, the Ford wasn't too bad there. The Ford was not too bad in that one. After a dicey start, it was a decent recovery and a good fun race, even if it was only 11th. We head to Silverstone for our next race. It's a nice spot on the grid this time around, although we do struggle to get the Ford off the line. It's not the quickest away, that's for sure. Although it's not too bad. I don't think we're going to lose too much into the first corner. The Countach is going to have a look. Might get boxed in, although I just don't have... But one of the things I have noticed about this Ford is on cold tyres, it's not great. The first lap it's actually, or maybe not quite the full lap here, being quite a long lap, but yeah, cold tyres, it really does seem strong. That might be part of the... Whoa! Because it's so heavy, it really does. Oh, we've got the weird no collisions glitch going on now. So, yeah, cars can just kind of drive through you, but not fully through you, and it's all very bizarre. So, yeah, that's fun. We've got a lot more straight line speed than Stevie down here. Don't know where the Esprit is going to reappear. Oh, it's really, really difficult to know with these collisions what you can and can't get away with. Apparently quite a lot. We've got a lot of understeer going on, although Lombo is going to just run out of road outside there. It's not been a good start for me. We kind of got a little bit boxed out at the start, and then a big oversteery moment sort of cost us, which didn't really help. Yeah, trying to get the tyres up to temperature with this car here is quite important. Once it does, it's not too shabby, but yeah, definitely struggles a little bit to get going. We've really not made the most of a good spot on the grid. Here is hoping that we can have a good run through Maggotts and Beckett's. We can make the most of... I mean, this car is good straight line speed. It's not good getting to it, but it is good top end once it has momentum, which I guess is not too bad here at Silverstone, because there's not a lot of low... Well, like down this straight, for example, you haven't got a low-speed corner into an acceleration zone. Maggotts and Beckett's is relatively fast, so... Yeah, it might work out quite nicely for this. I just thought, it's a decent length race. We've got to not panic, and everything will be okay. Wyvern leads the way with the Renault 5 from Hordes' Countach, and then I think it's Shadow with the Ferrari. Gliska's MR2. Stevie's NSX is very good in the corners, but we've already seen the NSX is not fast down the straight. So if we can get close enough, the NSX shouldn't be too horrifically difficult to find a way past. Now, I wonder if Lombo's little Ferrari, while very annoying at Mugello, might struggle with these longer straights, because it can't use its acceleration quite as much. The MR2 is out a little bit wide through here, and Stevie's going to have a look, but may run deep through this next corner. Now, I do kind of want to see this lot fighting. The more they fight, the better that is for me. Okay, my car's not very nice there, because I keep thinking we can get away with booting it. God, what is going on? It's got really weird again. We haven't had too many issues with that today, but now, it has decided it's had enough of actually doing collisions properly. How Forza has got this new bug, I do not know. It does look like the top three are too fast for me. Anyway, we may stand a chance at finding a way past the MR2 if I can gather things up with the Ford a little bit, but I don't think we're going off after the top three. I think they are gone. If I could get rid of the understeer in this car a little bit, that would be very, very helpful, but alas, we have not, basically. Try and be neat through the old turn 1. Longbow's not going to want to try and do a pass into Maggots and Beckers. No one wants to pass into Maggots and Beckers. It's a very, very difficult section to do anything through. The Ford does at least ride the curbs relatively well. Can't fault it at that one. As the three ahead are all busy fighting each other. Can we get a good run onto the straight here? We can. Again, there's clearly a lot of weirdness going on with the lag and the collisions because they aren't actually doing that, pushing each other's cars around in that manner. Stevie is trying to get to the inside. I don't know how on earth I'm going to be able to get involved in this fight particularly, because I don't know how we're going to judge where cars are, but we're just going to have to do our best and hope, really. Impega is now behind us. The other Ford has come to join in the fun and games, so to speak. We're trying to be quick through the final corner. Now, it will put us to the inside at turn 1. We may be able to compromise the NSX into the first corner a little bit here, and certainly the NSX will have more corner speed. Oh, this guy Stevie can just drive through me. That's cool. That's weird as anything, and Impega has made the most of that one. I don't really know how to defend some of these corners now. Right, okay, that time first gear works quite well for us. That's turned in a bit too soon through. I've got understeer. I'm trying to counter the understeer. Still trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing with my car, while, yeah, dealing with invisible ghost weirdness in this. Right. I mean, everything is just bizarre. Impega's does look maybe a little bit better, Ford, for this. We will do what we can. I don't quite have the traction to boot it where I want to through there. The tyres, you know, it has got some very, very big rear tyres. It's still got quite a lot of power, of course. And even with this weight, it is keen to light up the rear tyres. Impega's having a look. It's a difficult pass to pull off through there to the inside, especially against an Amira that is notoriously good. The Amira is a very, very quick in this game in general, or very grippy, that's for sure. May not enjoy the straights quite as much as the big Fords, but yeah. Right, let's go. Ewan may well be vulnerable to Impega by the end of the straight here. We've got off of Maggots and Beckett's quite well. Ewan surprisingly didn't even go defensive down that one. I wonder if Ewan was kind of aware it didn't matter what side they go, the Ford was going to come back past. Maybe. I am surprised, though, the Amira made it that easy. However, it's a close battle up at the front. It's a big battle for third and going to potentially be a sizable battle for fourth here. We can launch it. God, the Amira is terrible over these curves. That is definitely somewhere the Ford has got a big advantage in this one. I mean, I think I can be quite aggressive over that one there. I mean, it bounces. Of course it's going to bounce, but it doesn't really unsettle the car in the same way. Now, what can we do against the Frosty Gold Lotus? It is a good question. Gliska's trying to defend from the Ford, as you would expect. And now, see, oh, God. Collisions have gone very strange. Now, first gear out of here might work, and it is going to. Things went a little bit weird, and Impega has gone for an adventure. We managed to minimise the wheel spin. We've jumped ourselves up to fifth. Now it's our turn to go hunting an MR2. Don't know what we're going to be able to do against the MR2, but we will see. Gliska is also likely to be struggling with understeer. That does tend to be what the MR2s struggle with in this game. Now, if we can get the power down nicely this time around, which we do, will we be in a place at the end of the hangar straight? That is probably the best. It is the best spot for some overtaking. Are the Fords quicker? than the MR2, than this MR2 down the straight. MR2s, again, they have fairly small tyres in Forza. It means they tend to get quite a lot of power. So they're normally pretty rapid down the straights. We were good through the old turn 1 there, which is very, very nice. Into Maggotts and Beckett's we go. You're not going to pass through here. Not really the goal. The goal is to get a good run on the exit through here. And Pega is looking slightly different lines to me. Gliska lights up the rear tyres down there. Where is the Toyota going to go? How defensive is Gliska going to go down here? God, he's quicker than I am. Down the straight. Will Gliska defend hard? Can we send it to the inside? Thought about it. Final lap of the race, I think I'd do that. The MR2, we have got traction advantage over the MR2. Gliska is definitely going to defend down here this time around. We look to be brave around the outside, and apparently we can just drive through. I mean, collisions have just gone. Collisions have just given up. I mean, I don't know whether we could have pulled that manoeuvre off. I feel like we might have. I mean, Gliska would have ended up not being able to carry the speed they did through that corner anyway. Yeah, collisions have just stopped working entirely at the moment. What is going on, Forza? This is not like ghosting. I should point out that there is the settings for this. There very much are collisions with some cars, but apparently it's just completely forgotten how to do collisions with the MR2. And I mean, Gliska tried to take full advantage of that one through there. We are actually running a little bit low on fuel. Impega's had a problem, which I'm honestly going to hazard a guess is something related to the collisions being funky, because Impega's Ford looked probably a little better than mine on the most part through here. The game has just completely screwed up. I can't match. The top three are too fast. Hordes, Shadow, Wyvern are just far superior. Whoa! What is going on? Gliska's being carried by an NSX. What's gone on with Forza? It's just got all manners of silly, really, hasn't it? I mean, that was very funny to look back and see, but there we go. Oh, okay, Impega's not too far back. But yeah, this has just got all manners of broken. The Ford's, I mean, it's clearly not up with the top three, but it's not terrible around here. It's possibly not the strongest circuit this car could have. If I could try and get rid of a bit of, if I could tune better, I could probably get rid of the understeer out of this one a bit and make it an easier car to drive. Stevie is close, but is going to not have the straight line speed to do all that much about the Ford. We will be a little bit sensible through there this time around. A couple of corners to go. Coming up. Don't know whether Stevie can just drive through us, though, if I'm being honest. So we have to be a little bit mindful of that one, because, you know, the game's physics might just decide that it doesn't matter if you try and defend, it's going to not care. We can clobber the curb. Stevie threw it and couldn't make it stick. It'll be a 4th place for the Ford. Yeah, probably the best I could hope for. Even with a good grid spot, a poor launch. Yeah, I mean, look, we're all in the 213s, 212s. Impega was a little faster than me. I was going quicker than that, I should point out, that there was dirty laps and all of that. We were probably not a million miles away from Impega, perhaps. But yeah, the Countach and F50 too fast. And probably the Renault 5 as well. They were just gone. It was a very fun battle, unfortunately ruined by Forza just forgetting how to do physics. So... There we go. Would have been a really fun race, as yeah, it was very, very close between a lot of cars. And then yeah, physics just decided to give up. There we go. Tis a shame. Tis a shame on that one. Well, yeah, the top three too fast. Nothing I could do. So, I mean, Forza was being weird. In fact, this is a bug that we have been having issues with now for the last few weeks. Just Silverstone was the most egregious I've seen it yet, with just collisions giving up. For not everyone, just for some people. So yeah, Forza's more broken in different ways now, apparently. The Ford, I have to say, was good, but it was one of the sort of situationally good cars. It certainly didn't want to work at every single track. in the end, the weight is kind of its downside. It struggles a little bit with acceleration. Surprisingly good, corner speed and everything, but you could definitely feel that it was one of the heavier cars. And getting stuck in a hot lapping situation, I think it's very fast. Getting stuck in traffic, it's slightly different ways this one gets stuck in traffic, perhaps. But yeah, the lighter, more acceleration-focused cars, it has a tough time in dealing with. But I'm still happy I used it. It was still a pretty good car overall. Grid spots didn't help. In a good grid spot, I managed to throw it away anyway. So, yeah, an interesting car, an interesting build. It was, good fun to drive. There was some very good racing, even if Forza being really strange. But there we go. That is going to be it for this video. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.